Okay. All right. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Oh, well, welcome, friends. Thank you for joining this evening. For those that don't know, my name is Keelan, and I'm a Kripalu trained yoga teacher. So, my whole spiel is that you're going to know your body so much better than I am ever going to, right? Because you're like living in it and experiencing it. So, while I might be guiding you through things tonight, your fundamental responsibility here is to listen to your own inner voice, right? If I'm saying to lift your arms up, and all of a sudden you're like sweating and your heart is palpitating and you're not breathing anymore, then like hands could come to heart center or the hips or any other variation. I like to think of poses having like a breath of experience, right? And that's going to be up to you and your body and the things you've done in this lifetime. So really, you're in charge here. And our class today is going to be really focused on stretching out the legs. All right. I see some like positive faces. Great. Thank you, Diego, because I saw him at the grocery store. And he's like, my legs really hurt. I was like, all right, we can focus on legs today. Awesome. So just to start finding a comfortable seated position, I like to sit on a block. And if anyone doesn't have blocks, you can grab them at any point. But I like having them just in case you do want to use them. But when you lift the hips above the knees, you take pressure out of the knees, but it also tilts the pelvis just a little bit to make it easier to sit up nice and tall at the beginning of class here. Oh, and then as you settle in, just taking a moment to notice if you're leaning forward or backwards at all. Sort of as human beings, we tend to be leaning backwards into the past a little bit or forwards into the future, but we want to be here and now in the present, a nice open line of energy through the spine. And then from here, beginning to bring your awareness to your breath in through your nose and out through your nose. You're welcome to use an exhale here to soften or close the eyes, furthering that journey inward. Nice, deep, nourishing breaths, feeling that lift through the crown of the head to create a nice, straight spine, vertebrae stacked on top of vertebrae. With each breath, becoming a little more embodied in this present moment. What are the sensations that you're experiencing? And then beginning to elongate the exhale now so it's twice as long as the inhale. Really slowing things down. Knowing that just 30 seconds of this breath with the exhale that's twice as long as the inhale begins to lower the blood pressure, lower the heart rate, telling your body that you're in a safe space. There's no one here that's going to judge you, and committing yourself to non judgment of yourself in this practice as well. Saying, I am here to love and accept myself exactly as I am. On the next inhale, send your breath to the belly and feel the belly button expand out like a balloon. And then exhale, pull that belly button up and into the spine. Inhale to feel that belly expand out. And exhale to bring it back in. If it's helpful, you can think belly as you breathe in and the belly expands out, and breath as you exhale and pull that belly button up and in. This technique is known as belly breathing. And again, will help you dive further into the self to ground yourself in the practice. Taking two more of these big belly breaths. And then releasing any controlled state of breathing and taking an opportunity to just check in. What's shifted and changed in your inner landscape already? When you're ready, using the inhale to allow the eyes to flutter open, bringing the arms out side to side till the palms touch overhead and the gaze follows. Exhale to slowly bring the arms back down to the ground. As you do it, make some peace fingers to connect to the earth with that pause before the next inhale. Inhale to lift the arms up overhead. Exhale to slowly bring them back down, fingertips to the earth. 3 more of these breaths, and if you'd like to, you can join me with an Om on the exhale. Last one. One hand firmly connects to the earth and inhale. Extend the hand out and over to the side, opening up the side body, feeling the stretch from the hip bone up through the armpit, and choosing how far you want to go into this posture. What would it be like to come down a few inches closer? Can you keep both thighs connected and engaged to the earth here while doing so? Deep breaths here and pull that top shoulder back and look up towards the ceiling. Pausing here for 2 breath cycles, fully experiencing all that this posture has to offer. Inhale to pull all the way back up through to center, and then exhale, coming out and over to the other side. Exploring how far you want to come in each side is going to feel different. And then once you've established that inhale to open up that top shoulder, lift the gaze and pause for 2 breath cycles. Inhale pulls you all the way up back through to center, realigning and lifting through the crown. And then exhale, twist and turn to look out past the back shoulder. One hand right behind the sits bones, pressing into the earth to get a nice flat back. And one hand to the outer edge of the opposite leg, turning and twisting to look back and behind you, pausing for 2 more breaths. Paying special attention to any pinching, numbness, or tingling as the body asking you kindly to come out of the pose a little bit. Inhale to come back through to center. And exhale to twist and turn, coming to the other side, finding balance in your movement so that you can carry it with you out into the world today. One more breath cycle here. And then inhale to come back through to center. Once again, lifting the hands up towards the sky. When the palms touch, gaze straight ahead, bend at the elbows and bring the hands to the back and bottom of the neck. This is called hands to back of heart. Feeling that opening in the shoulders and breathing into it. Those nice strong breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Inhale to lift the hands back up towards the ceiling, and exhale, the hands slide all the way down to the earth as you bring both of your feet in front of you. Soles of the feet touching. Hands could either interlace and go around the toes, or hands could come to the shins here. Lifting up tall through the crown, so shoulders soften down the back body. And then inhale to lift the knees up towards the sky, and exhale to lower them down. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. creating a flow with the breath and movement. Mm. One more big breath in to lift. And exhale, we're gonna bring those thighs as close down to the earth as they want to go today. And taking an inhale to really sit up tall through the crown. And exhale, begin to hinge forward from the hips as far as you can while keeping a nice flat back. So for me, that's about, oh, this far, just a couple of inches. But with every exhale, you can always check in. Can I go a centimeter further? If you can, fantastic. If you can't, fantastic. That's just where you are today. Big deep breaths here. Potentially even still engaging that belly breath. Taking one more big breath in through the nose and then exhale. Now let those shoulders roll, slide the hands forward. Pausing here for 3 breath cycles, breathing into the hips to soften any tension that might be arising. Inhale to activate the abdomen, connecting to the core and sliding all the way back up to that seated position. If you are sitting on a prop, you can scooch that off to the side and then roll forward onto hands and knees here. Hands or fists stacked under shoulders. Fist is a great option if you have any carpal tunnel or sensitivity in the wrists. Knees stacked under hips. And then tuck that belly button up and in. So abdomen is active and engaged here. Inhale, drop the belly, open the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin up and into the chest. Inhale to open the shoulder blades, slide closer together. Exhale to round the shoulder blades, slide farther apart. Working through a few more cycles of these movements, following the divine timing of your own breath. And every time you move in and out of these movements, ask what can be new to you this time. Whether this is your first time working with these movements or the 1,000th time you're working with these movements, there's always something to learn. One more breath cycle here. Mm. And then on that next inhale, returning back to tabletop with a nice flat back. Walk the knees to be the width edge of your mat and bring the hands towards the front of the mat. And we're just going to make some hip circles. So they could be smaller circles or they could be bigger circles where perhaps the hip comes to the feet as you go back and the shoulders come over the hands as you come forward. So yogi's choice here to just explore the space in your body and do what's going to feel good. And then reverse going in the opposite direction. Mm. You using the exhale to release any tension that you're coming up against in the practice in your body. Mm. The next time you inhale, come back to center, walk the hands even further up the mat, and then exhale, melt the forehead down towards the earth. Always an option to bring the forehead to a block, acknowledging that the block has a few settings here. You can do it flat on the earth, the shorter side, or the longer side. So, whatever support you need, it is available to you in this space. And I'll say it again. Whatever support you need, it is available to you in this space. Remembering that you have full permission to listen to your body and support your needs. Mm. Pausing here for one more breath cycle. Inhale to slide the hands back under the shoulders, pressing back up to a tabletop position. Inhale, lift the right hand up towards the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, bring that right shoulder all the way down to the earth. Right arm goes under the left arm, right side of the head to the earth. Option here to walk that hand up towards the front edge of your mat, or inhale, lift that hand up towards the sky. Breathing deep here, whatever you're choosing, fully embodying it in this moment. Remembering there's no right or wrong, there just is this moment. One more big breath in through the nose and exhale. If that hand is not under the shoulder, bring it back, pressing into that palm, unwinding and returning back to that tabletop pose. Inhale to open up the left arm to the sky now. And exhale, thread the needle. Bring that left arm under the right, left shoulder to the earth, left side of the head to the earth, and then choosing where you'd like that right hand to be. Does it want to stay where it is? Does it want to be extended straight out towards the front of the mat? Or does it want to be lifted up towards the sky? Acknowledging each side of the body might have a different need. Pausing for 2 more breath cycles here. On your next exhale, bringing that palm down or sliding it back, pressing into the right palm and returning back to tabletop. Bringing those knees back to under the hips. Inhale, extend the left leg straight out, back and behind. Tuck the toes and rock back and forth on that leg. Stretching out the calf. Mm. Keeping that strong connection to the abdomen here, bringing great intention to these smaller movements. Mm. Inhale, lift that leg up, straight back and behind, and then exhale, bend the knees, stepping the foot all the way up and through between the hands. If you have blocks, you can place them um, under the shoulders. But we'll start here in a runner's lunge to start. So front knee over front ankle. And then the right hand comes firmly to the earth as the left hand opens to the sky. Option to bend that elbow and bring the left hand to the hip, if that would be more supportive to you in this moment. Pausing here for 3 breaths, asking yourself, what lessons are you ready to receive from this pose? Hmm. One more big breath in through the nose. And then exhale slowly with control, bringing that hand back to the ground, bringing the hands back to the blocks now. Inhale, lean forward, opening the heart space. Exhale, pull that left hip back, coming to the ankle here of the foot as the toes lift up towards the sky. So you might want to change the setting here on the block. So yogi's choice. Breathing deep, pausing and holding. Big breath in through the nose and then exhale, bend the elbows, bending over the leg, tucking the knee into the chest, changing the stretch in the body now. What do these little movements, or how do these little movements change your experience? Remembering to keep your connection to the breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Remembering that if the mind ever wanders, you can follow the breath back to your practice. On the next exhale, bend that knee, walk the blocks in your hands forward, bringing the ankle back under the knee. And then from here, inhale to lift the hands up to heart center or extending the arms up overhead. Breathing deep here, pulling the left hip back, the right hip forward to square those hips towards the front of your mat. Breathing deep here. Feeling that lift and length through the crown of the head. One more big breath in through the nose and exhale to float those hands all the way back down to the ground and step the left foot back to meet the right. Move the blocks out of the way for a moment, returning back to tabletop. Bump the hips to the left, look over the left shoulder at the hips. Bump the hips to the right, look over the right shoulder at the hips. Bring some pendulum swing side to side. Opening up the side body. Breathing into the space that's created. Inhale to come back through to center. This time extending the right leg straight out, back and behind, tucking the toes and rocking back and forth on that leg. Keeping that strong foundation in the abdomen here. And then inhale, shoulders back over hands, lift that leg straight up, back and behind. Gaze soft on the earth in front of you as you bend the knees, step the foot all the way up and through here. You can bring your blocks back. Front knee over front ankle. Right hip comes back as left hip comes forward. And inhaling into a runner's lunge. Right or left hand comes to the earth and right hand opens up towards the sky. Breathing deep here. Elbow could always bend and come to the hips. Or any other micro movements here that would better meet your needs. Inhale, big breath in through the nose. As you exhale, float that hand back to the ground, walking the hands back to the block. And exhale, pulling that left hip back as the toes point up towards the ceiling. Hands can come to the blocks if that's supportive to you. And inhaling to lift up tall. Pausing here in this experience. Staying committed and connected to the deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Big breath in and exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin into chest, elbows bend a little. How does this change the pose in your body? Inhale, bend that front knee, walk your hands and blocks towards the front edge, front knee over front ankle. And then choosing a lift of inhale, hands could come to the knees, the heart, or a lift up overhead. Feeling that open line of energy through the body as the crown lifts tall. Breathing deep here. One more big breath in through the nose and exhale to, with control, bring those hands all the way back down, moving any props out of the way. Hands come to the earth. Right foot comes back to the left and exhale, melt the hips back and down for child's pose. Option to bring the knees to be the width edge of the mat for an extended child's pose, or knees together, toes together, finding connection with the forehead to the mat or a block. Remembering all of me is welcome here. I make space for all that I am. And then inhale, fire up the belly, extend out through the crown, and lifting up from the hips. Come forward onto the hands for just a moment to tuck the toes under and sit back on the heels. Inhale, lifting up tall, opening up the arms side to side, and exhale, one arm over the other. Give yourself a giant hug. Pausing here for a big squeeze. And then inhale, opening up side to side. And exhale, opposite arm on top this time. Nice big squeeze. Mm. Inhale to open up those arms. Come forward onto the hands and tap out the tops of the feet here. I don't normally do it this long, but y'all are making some beautiful noise. All right. From here, inhale, extend the right leg straight out, back and behind. Exhale, bend that knee, step the foot all the way up and through. Tuck those back toes under and use an inhale to take as many steps as necessary to get that left foot up to the right, coming into a forward fold. Option to bring the hands to blocks here or to the earth, or hands can grasp opposite elbows. We're just going to either gently walk the hands or rock the elbows side to side, feeling that stretch in the side body, that opening in the back of the legs. Inhale. If you're grabbing elbows, bring the hands to the earth for a moment, even if that means bending the knees to do so. And then inhale, open up the arms wide, bend the knees deep to rise high all the way up to the sky, palms touching. Exhale, slide the hands down through heart center. Hands come out side to side, coming into mountain. So feet hip width distance apart. That very literally means if you bring the fists together and tuck them right in between the arches, that's hip width distance. Slight micro bend in the knees, thighs pulling towards each other, activated, pelvis tilted slightly forward. Big breath in to lift tall through the crown. Exhale to soften the shoulders. Hands come out side to side, strong in mountain. Inhale, big breath in, arms lift all the way up overhead, gaze follows. Exhale to dive all the way down to the toes. Inhale, hands to knees, halfway lift or arms extended straight out, back and behind. Exhale to bring it back to the earth. Inhale, bend the knees, lift and rise all the way back up to the sky. Option to bring in a bit of a back bend here. And exhale to bring it back to heart center. Pausing here for a breath cycle. In through the nose, out through the nose. Beautiful. Inhale to lift. Exhale to dive. Inhale to a halfway lift of your choosing. Exhale to come back to the earth. Inhale to bend the knees, lift and rise high. And exhale to slide the hands to heart center, pausing for a breath cycle, feeling cool air enter the body through the nose, feeling warm air leave the body through the nose. Beautiful. Inhale to lift and rise. Exhale with control, hinging forward from the hips. Inhaling to a halfway lift of your choosing. Exhale to return to the earth. Inhale, bend those knees, lift and rise high. Option to bring in that back bend. And exhale to return to the heart. One more time here. Inhale to lift. Exhale to dive. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhale back to the earth. Inhale, bend the knees, lift and rise high. And exhale to return back to the heart. Beautiful. From here, inhale, we're going to bring one foot across the other leg and right tucked into the other side. So you're crossing one leg over the other. And then inhale, lifting tall through the crown. Hands can come to hips here. And exhale, begin to hinge forward from the hips here. Going as far as you can. While feeling that deep stretch in the psoas. If you feel any tightness here, either lift up out of the pose a little bit or use the exhale to soften those muscles. Breathing deep here. One more breath cycle. Seeing even with this last breath cycle, can you come forward even a centimeter more? And then inhale, extend out through the crown, activate the abdomen and lift slowly back up to standing. Coming to the other side. Inhaling to lift tall through the crown and exhale to forward fold from the hips. Breathing deep here. Remembering to use the breath to soften the body, acknowledging that the softer the body is, the deeper you can go into the stretch. Inhale to lift and rise all the way back up to standing here. We're going to uncross those legs, firmly plant your weight into one foot here. So that same mountain energy, but in one foot. And then you're going to kick the other leg up and grab the ankle with the hand. So this can require some balance. It can be helpful to find a drishti or a focal point on the wall to stare at that isn't moving even if you are. Watching me isn't always the best because I might also be moving. Or you could always come to put a hand on a chair or a wall, whatever's available to you. That other hand you can open it up almost like you would if you were in a mountain pose, or bring it to the hip. Having it out can be nice because you can use it for balance. And then see if you can press into that standing leg even more. Can you stand up even another centimeter taller? While using that next exhale to see if you can soften the body 1% more. One more big breath in through the nose. And exhale, releasing that ankle, coming back into mountain pose, pausing for a breath cycle in through the nose, out through the nose. And inhale, shifting the weight into the other foot now. Bending that opposite leg, kicking the foot up and catching it with the hand at the ankle. And coming in on this side. Breathing deep, feeling all four corners of the foot firmly connected to the earth here. The left, the right, the front, and the back. Really pressing in with that standing leg so that the hips aren't coming out to the side. Two more breaths here. Big breath in through the nose and exhale. Slowly lower that foot back down, coming into standing once more. Inhale, this time lift the arms all the way up overhead, interlacing the fingers and extending the pointer finger to come into steeple grip. From here, lift even more, feeling yourself grow another quarter inch. And then exhale, come out and over to the side. Deep side body stretch here. So the hands go one direction, the hips go the other. Breathing into the space that's created in the side body. Inhale to lift all the way back through to center. Exhale out and over to the other side. Breathing deep here. Inhale to come back up through to center, standing tall at the front of your mat. And exhale to dive all the way back down to the toes. This time bending the knees so the hands can come all the way to the earth. Take a big step back with the left leg, drop the knee down. Take a big step back with the right leg, drop the knee down. Knees together, toes together, melt the hips back and down. Once again, returning to that child's pose, a moment of respite in your practice. Cultivating moments of movement to be balanced with these moments of rest. What would your life look like if you did the same? Inhale to extend out through the crown of the head, and then using the next inhale to slowly rise back up to a seated position. Inhaling to lift tall up through the crown of the head, abdomen engaged, shoulders soften down the back body. From here, inhale the arms straight out in front of you. Exhale, rotate those palms face out, swim the hands back and behind, and interlace the fingers. This can be a really nice place to have a strap back behind you to hold on to if interlacing the fingers is not an option today. Then pull the hands back and down, open up the heart space, lift the gaze. Big breath in here as you then exhale, hinging forward from the hips, melting the torso over the thighs, bringing the forehead to the mat or a block as the arms lift up overhead. Yoga Mudra, where the wisdom of the heart is elevated above the wisdom of the head. If this is uncomfortable for you, this could also be done standing up. Inhale to take one more big breath in through the nose as you extend out through the crown of the head and begin to slowly make your way back up to a seated position. Once you make it all the way up, then releasing the hands and letting them flow back to the thighs. Pausing here for a breath cycle in through the nose and out through the nose. Inhale to come onto the sides of the hips and bring the feet out in front of you, keeping the feet or extending one leg out, keeping the foot nice and active, and bending the other leg and pressing the sole of the foot into the inner thigh. Inhale to sit up nice and tall. Imagine like you're in a mountain pose, but from the torso up here. Exhale, keeping those shoulders softened down the back body. As you inhale, lift the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, going as far as you can while maintaining a nice flat back. So it's probably similar to what it was in that cobbler's pose from earlier, where the soles of the feet were together. Pausing here to feel that stretch in the body. Mhm. Taking a big deep breath in through the nose. And exhale, slide the hands forward, coming towards those toes. The hands don't come to the toes. You can always bend the knee and bring the toes closer to you. Breathing deep here, pausing for a moment of surrender in your practice. What can you receive in this moment? Inhale to slowly roll up through the spine, walking the hands back up the leg and coming to the other side. Extending that leg straight out, keeping the foot nice and active as if it's pressed against the wall. Inhale to lift through the crown, arms come out side to side, lifting overhead. And exhale to forward fold over that leg. Taking big, deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. Sending oxygen to the body, deepening your experience. One more big breath in. And exhale, allow yourself to round forward, making your way towards those toes, whatever that means to you. Breathing deep. Inhale to slowly begin to walk those hands back up the legs, except both legs straight forward this time, and just shake them out a little bit. You can bring the hands back behind you if you'd like a little support. Hmm. Beautiful. Bending one leg, wrapping it around the body, then bend the other knee, bringing that foot flat to the earth. Swim the opposite arm, either hugging into the elbow or holding with the knee, trying out both to see what's going to serve you. And then inhale to sit up tall through the crown. And exhale, swim that other hand back in behind you, placing it right behind the sits bones to help you lift and lengthen. And then last but not least, turning the head to look past the back shoulder. Acknowledging when we begin twisting at the base of the spine and working the way up the spine, we prevent injury from happening. Breathing deep here. Using the exhales to make sure the muscles of the face are softened. Is the brow line relaxed? Is the jaw unhinged? Inhale to unravel, unwind, becoming back to center. Leaning back to switch legs here and coming to the other side. Choosing if you'd like the hand around the knee or the elbow wrapped around the knee. Inhaling to lift and lengthen. And then exhale, swimming that arm all the way out, back and behind, pressing into the earth with it. And then exhaling to look out past that shoulder. Breathing deep here. Paying special attention to any areas in the body where you might be holding tension. And choosing to soften with the next exhale. Knowing that the same is true in life. We can come against situations where we can choose to soften with the exhale. Inhale to unravel, unwind, returning back to center here. Soles of the feet are going to stay flat on the earth, and then you're going to gently make your way down to length with the torso. So you might need to like readjust where you are on the mat. All right. Inhaling, we're going to bring the palms down on either side of the body, pressing into the feet, the shoulders, the arm, lifting the hips up towards the sky. Exhale to slowly lower the hips back down to the earth. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. One more time. Inhaling to lift. Exhale to lower. And then an option here is you can grab one of your blocks and place it in between the thighs here, especially if you experience that the glutes are predominantly supporting you when you were coming in and out of that pose. It can be really nice to take some of the tension or pressure off of the muscle group. And then inhale, lift the hips up towards the ceiling. It's time to pause and hold for 4 breaths. Option here to roll one shoulder under the back body and then the other, and interlacing the hands, pressing into those also. Lifting the chest towards the chin towards the sky. Knees stay over the ankles, gaze straight ahead towards the ceiling. Pausing here for 2 more breaths now. And asking yourself, is there anything you need to do to modify this, to end this pose with integrity? On the next exhale, if you've rolled those shoulders, you can unroll them, unclasp the hands, and then everybody slowly lowering one vertebrae at a time. The hips come back to the earth. You can move that block out of the way if you were using it between the hips. Walk the feet to be the width edge of the mat, and then begin windshield wipering the legs side to side. So bringing them down to the earth with an exhale, inhaling back through to center, exhaling to the opposite side, inhaling back through center, exhaling to the other side. Just a few times side to side, feeling that sweet little massage on the glutes there. Inhale, the next time the knees come up to center, pause and hold. You can bring the knees a little bit closer, maybe like a half a foot length closer to the body. And then inhale, lift the right knee up and over the left thigh, coming into a figure 4 position. Keeping that foot nice and active. And choosing here, if you're really feeling the stretch already, then this is your pausing point. This is where you'll experience this pose today. Otherwise, you can lift that foot up off the earth, bringing the calf parallel to the ground. That foot also stays nice and active when it's lifted. And then if you'd like to explore this pose further, then you could interlace the fingers and bring them back behind the left thigh. Breathing deep here. Softening and surrendering to the wisdom of this pose. What do you have to learn about this body and yourself when you're in this shape? One more breath cycle here. Big breath in through the nose and exhale slowly, slowly. Lower that foot back down to the earth. Uncross that leg and then coming to the other side. Choosing, acknowledging that each hip is going to be different here. So this might be the extent of your pose here. Or inhale, lift that foot up. Or interlace those fingers back behind that thigh. Exhale, see if you can soften the shoulders closer to the earth. And on the next exhale, soften the muscles of the face. One more big breath in through the nose and exhale. Slowly bring that foot back down to the earth. This time unraveling that leg, and then you're going to bring both soles of the feet together like we did in a seated position earlier. So reclined cobbler's pose now. You could bring the arms out to either side of the body, palms up, Or you could bring a hand to the belly, a hand to the heart, or you could bring the hands into the inner thighs to deepen this stretch. Knowing that the closer the feet are to the pelvis here, the deeper the stretch will be. So, feeling full permission to explore and see what's going to feel best to you in this moment. We're going to pause here for about a full minute. So asking yourself, is there anything else you could do to soften the whole body into the support of the ground beneath you? 3 more deep breaths here. Inhale, bring your hands to the outer edges of the leg and assist those knees back up towards the ceiling. Then lifting the feet up and hugging the knees in towards the chest, gently rocking side to side. Mm. Feeling that massage now on the lower back. Mm. And the next time the knees come to one side, let the knees fall all the way down to the ground, making sure that both shoulders stay firmly rooted. If you find that your opposite shoulder is lifting up, then you could place a block under the knees so that they can still ground and receive the support they need. Then opening up the arms side to side in a big Texas T. If you find that you're bumping into a neighbor, you could always bend at the elbows, coming in to at a 90-degree angle, sort of like football goals. And then exhale, turn the head to look in the opposite direction of the knees, coming into a supine twist. Mm. Acknowledging that twists are known for their wisdom to receive or to release. So if there's anything that you don't want to carry with you off the mat today, this is the time to let it go. Using an exhale to release whatever that thing is that is no longer serving you. Inhale to bring the gaze back to center, the knees back to center, and exhale to come to the other side. Once the knees have come all the way down to the earth and you've situated them, you can turn the head to look in the opposite direction of the knees. Breathing deep, sticking with the breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Inhale to come all the way back through to center. And exhale, extending the legs straight out for Shavasana, the final resting pose. If you'd like to add any layers as the body will cool down rapidly here. If you're at home, maybe putting a blanket on you. If you experience any discomfort in the low back, you can bend the knees to bring them to be the feet to the width edge of the mat, and then allow the knees to fall in towards each other, flushing the low back flat to the earth. Hands out in a V shape on either side of the body, palms up in a gesture of openness and receiving. If it feels safe, softening or closing the eyes and doing 3 belly breaths for surrendering to your Shavasana. Acknowledging that this pose is as valid as every other pose in your practice because it is where the body integrates and takes in all of the work you've done in this past hour into your being to carry with you into your life. Taking a big breath in through the nose and out through the nose, wiggling the fingers and toes, and gently making your way towards a comfortable seated position, taking all the time you need, perhaps rolling onto one side and gently pressing yourself back up. Hmm. Once again, sitting up nice and tall through the crown, and using an inhale to bring the hands to heart center, closing our practice off with 3 Oms. Taking a big breath in. My wish for you on this day and every day that follows is peace of body, peace of heart, and peace of mind. Namaste.